Right, viewers, we begin our show with focus on Chennai, Tamil Nadu. The city has seen torrential rainfall over the last weekend and fears of the 2015 deluge are haunting.
A nightmare weekend for Chennaiites. Record rainfall meant unprecedented flooding on the streets of Chennai. And people stuck in their homes hoped and prayed that things don't get worse. Their prayers for now have been answered. After the storm came the calm, even if only a temporary one. With no rainfall on Sunday night and Monday, the focus shifted to rescue and rehabilitation.
Due to incessant rain in the city of Chennai alone, 1 lakh people have suffered and they are being provided relief materials, that is like bed sheets, food and medicine and shelter as well. At such a location in North Chennai, you could see currently the Chief Minister over here. He is providing relief materials to the people who have been placed in the shelter. As we speak, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, is sharing food. He's actually serving food for them. Blankets are also being provided and also bread is being provided at this point, at this location. Now the Chief Minister has also instructed his party cadres, that is DMK cadres, to help people as much as possible at this location. And North Chennai seems to be one of the locations that has been very badly affected because of Saturday night rain. And this is where the state government and various other officials are on the ground trying to help people.
Water levels slowly receded from low-lying areas as locals finally managed to get out of their homes.
At Velachery, where we're currently standing at, there has been barricading which has been done by the corporation. This was a measure to ensure that people are safe and don't go into the risky zone. We can see here that there is a groundwater canal work that is still underway and water is flowing via the channel. Last evening and yesterday morning we had seen heavy waterlogging in all these premises, but now water has receded.
Yeah, it's a very much worrying factor. Even yesterday night also when we slept, before going for sleep, I came out and seen what's outside and whether it's going to be horrible like last 2015 or so everybody is worried. Even now we are having experienced the earlier one. Now we are really trying to be safe on that.
But there are many parts of Chennai that are still drowning.
This location in Chennai called as T Nagar, water stagnation is prevalent, and not just that, in this long, huge street, you could see water stagnation up to a foot. Vehicles are finding it very difficult to ply at this point. Two-wheelers are struggling. Several two-wheelers we saw actually stop at midway itself. People, even after that, are plying to this because they have to go to work, they have to do essential services.
They should have worked it out before the rains. But yes, yesterday we had a seepage into the house and we called in corporation guys and they came and did a little bit of work. But again, you see there's a lot of water clogging all over here. But this area is prone for water clogging.
While there's been some respite from the rain, weather experts have warned it's a temporary one, with a forecast for heavy rain on Tuesday.
Today we would have a good reduction in the rainfall. But that is only going to be a temporary phenomenon because tomorrow again we will start seeing an increase in rainfall. But in the coming days, possibly we are going to see the effect of the low pressure. So we would have long, sustained spell of rains rather than the more intense short duration spells.
The state government is taking all steps to be prepared for the next spell. However, with the reservoirs running full, there is a fear of a deluge in Chennai is inevitable. A deluge in the coming days or weeks. With videos Divyan, Daniel and correspondent Akshayanath, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
All right, viewers, let's shift focus right now from Chennai to the national capital, Delhi. A double whammy of sorts where our waters are rancid and our air is toxic. My colleague Pooja went out recording the plight of Delhiites who are living in a practical gas chamber.
Ruchika is recovering from an asthma attack. On 4th of November, the night of Diwali, she started to choke and was unable to breathe.
It started 2 to 3 days prior Diwali, and because of the air quality and people were bursting crackers and all, so I started getting cough. and a little bit wheezing also. But on Diwali, when I had stepped out for like 15 minutes just to my mother's house, had gone, that too in the car. And when I came back, I had such a very bad attack of cough, which wasn't stopping. And they don't do.
Her usual air compressor failed. The nebulizer they had to buy did not suffice. Ruchika's husband, Siddharth, then rushed her to a hospital pharmacy, got a doctor on call on emergency, and managed to eventually save his wife in the nick of time.
She threw her mask off and she said, "Get me hospitalized," because she was gasping for breath. Mercifully, we managed to get a doctor's consult on the phone, and there was only one hospital which had medicines, because all standalone pharmacies did not
You rushed to a hospital also?
Yes, we had to rush to a hospital to buy the medicines, but she had already said that take me to a hospital. This was the worst.
This was the worst.
We've had pollution. She's had asthma attacks earlier. We've managed that, but there's never been the situation that she said take me to the hospital right now.
Doctors say they were receiving a higher number of complaints this year and long before the festival even arrived. Their patients range from children to adults complaining of pollution-related issues.
We are certainly seeing a significant increase in pollution-related effects. And I, as an ear, nose and throat specialist, have seen an increased presentation of patients with things like nasal irritation, runny nose, sinusitis, sore throats, throat irritation, and then extending to burning eyes, itchy skin. So these are, and this sudden increase in the last few days can only be because of the increase in the pollution levels in our air.
Activists have a word of caution. They say that firecrackers are just a soft target, whereas politicians are ignoring bigger causes and are deflecting due to their respective vote bank.
Industry is another big polluter. You can see chimneys blowing there. And then everything, all the multi-storied, everything is AC built. Idea is not to shift the problem, idea is to solve the problem. And for that, we need very strict measures, not these seasonal ban crackers and this is not going to happen.
So what are the reasons behind this mess? Pollution from the industries, stubble burning by farmers in neighboring states, the changes in wind movement and also in the farming nature and new crops that are being sowed but on a different timeline. Dust pollution from construction activities, specifically unabated deforestation and poor infrastructure planning in a city where the population has increased manifold in the past few years. And contributing to these big factors is the air pollution from vehicles and the seasonal and occasional firecrackers.
Just about 10 years ago, Delhi residents would await and welcome a beautiful winter season and its winter fog. But today, there is a white, thick smog in the air that we are breathing. There is this white froth in the water bodies that have now got completely polluted. Are we losing out on a political will that would have backed on scientific data and taken into confidence citizen initiatives? Or have we lost the Dilli Dilwalon ki once and forever? Has our environment here in the capital city of the country changed forever? With Kripal Singh, Pooja Shali for India Today.
All right, viewers, let's move on. An election is in order in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and communal pitch is at an all-time high. A big Hindu outreach by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath right ahead of the 2022 battle. The Chief Minister, in fact, interacted with the families of Kairana exodus victims. The Chief Minister assured the Hindu families that efforts have been made to ensure not only their protection but compensation would be paid to them to restart businesses. In 2016, the BJP had claimed that 350 Hindu families had fled Kairana in 2016 and over 1,000 families from the entire district. The BJP also says the Hindus there were persecuted by another community in majority in that area. Adding to that, there has been 10 communal killings in 2016 of various religions.
यहाँ पर पीएससी के एक बटालियन की स्थापना की कार्रवाई के लिए आज मैं स्वयं यहाँ पर आया हूँ और कुछ उन परिवारों के साथ भी मैंने संवाद किया है जो पिछली सरकारों के राजनीतिक अपराधीकरण के शिकार हुए थे। उसमें से ज्यादातर परिवार वापस आ चुके हैं, उनमें एक विश्वास जगा है।
All right, viewers, once again, Mukesh Ambani's residence Antila is in the spotlight, this time again for a possible security breach. To get you a larger understanding, the police control room got a call from a taxi driver that two people sat in the car and were asking the location of Antila. The taxi driver also said that two of them had a handbag with them. The Mumbai police is recording statements of the taxi driver and based on his statement further investigating the matter. Meanwhile, more barricades have been placed outside Antila and there is a 3-tier security. All right, viewers, the drug saga, the entire drug bust involving Aryan Khan, the aftermath still continues. The latest in that, Pooja Dadlani, the manager of Shah Rukh Khan, is being questioned.
Shah Rukh Khan's life has been thrown upside down by the drug case. First his son Aryan Khan arrested and then released on bail. And now his go-to person, his closest aide, is in the dock. Pooja Dadlani has been summoned by the Mumbai police in the extortion case now after witness Prabhakar Sahil alleged that Pooja Dadlani met with Kiran Gosavi to negotiate Aryan Khan's release in exchange for 25 crore rupees on behalf of the NCB's Sameer Wankhede.
गाड़ी में इतना ही चल रहा था कि 25 का बॉन्ड डल लास्ट 18 में फाइनल कर 8 अपने को वानखेड़े को देना है 10 अपने को बांट लेना है करके.
Pooja Dadlani won't appear before Mumbai police anytime now, citing illness to seek more time from the cops. She was asked to appear before Mumbai police officials on Saturday, but so far she hasn't turned up. It's been a traumatizing weekend for the Khans, as it was not only Dadlani but Aryan Khan was also summoned. Aryan Khan also put forth a similar reason to skip NCB summons in the drug case investigation on Sunday. Shah Rukh's son was to appear before the agency on Sunday, but it was a no-show. He cited a slight fever to duck the summons. This case has seen one twist after another. The latest one, a kidnapping angle introduced by, you guessed it, Maharashtra Minister Nawab Malik, who has even demanded that superstar Shah Rukh should break his silence on this case.
पूरा मामला किडनैपिंग का और रैंसम का है और किडनैप करके 25 करोड़ की फिरौती मांगने का खेल शुरू हुआ.
The drug case saga is clearly far from over for Shah Rukh and family. One of Aryan Khan's bail conditions is that he cooperates with the Narcotics Control Bureau, so he cannot afford to skip summons indefinitely and will at some point have to join the investigation in person. With Divyesh Singh in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, viewers, in the capital, the prestigious Padma Awards were given out by the President of India, Mr. Kovind, and in totality, 119 awards were given. Actor Kangana Ranaut, filmmaker Karan Johar, singer Adnan Sami, Olympian PV Sindhu and women's hockey team captain Rani Rampal were amongst those honoured. The late BJP leader Sushma Swaraj, Arun Jaitley and late singer SP Balasubramaniam were also conferred the award posthumously. The awards will be given out in 4 ceremonies held over 2 days. Prime Minister Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah were also in attendance during the facilitation. Welcome back. You're watching a fact check segment where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. Now, there's a claim floating about in the form of a video suggesting that there were protests in the state of Kerala against the Tripura clash. The fact check on that, it's a very old video of anti-CA protests in Kerala. Nothing to do with what happened in Tripura. With that quick fact check, time for us to go into a quick break, but you do stay with me. On the other side is To The Point.